President Lai has reiterated our government's commitment to upholding peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwanese people are peace-loving and among the friendliest and most generous in the world. We do not seek conflict. We will not provoke confrontation. And as President Lai indicated in his inaugural speech, we have urged the PRC to dialogue with the democratically elected government of Taiwan with parity and respect. For decades, Taiwanese people and businesses have contributed to China's growth and prosperity, which has only been possible under a peaceful and stable environment. Aggressive military posturing is counterproductive and deprives the people on both sides of the Taiwan Strait of opportunities to pursue an agenda of growth and prosperity. Unfortunately, in addition to PLA military maneuvers, we have seen a dramatic uptick in provocative and proactive CCP efforts to infiltrate, sabotage, and divide our society. And that is why President Lai, to protect our democracy and social cohesion, has outlined 17 lines of effort in response to the CCP's deployment of hybrid tools to weaken us and disrupt the status quo. Defending the status quo is our choice, not because it is easy, but because it is responsible and consistent. And it has, as of today, it's been over a year since the people of Taiwan entrusted President Lai and our administration with the responsibility to lead this country. It's not been an easy time, I have to admit. In these 14 months, we have faced a world that is more interconnected and yet more uncertain and more volatile than ever. But despite these challenges, we remain focused on delivering what we promised: a secure, democratic, innovative, and inclusive Taiwan, anchored in global partnerships and regional stability. So in my opening remarks, I thought I'd offer some reflections on our first year and also look ahead to what we are doing now and the work still to come. Now, Taiwan doesn't live in a vacuum. We operate at the center of one of the world's most dynamic and contested geopolitical environments. We face ongoing pressures from China, militarily, economically, politically, and psychologically. And over the past year, these pressures have only intensified. We've seen escalating military coercion, sustained gray zone activities, and economic coercion. But China is only one part of the broader, more turbulent global landscape that we're in. The world is undergoing simultaneous shocks and structural shifts, including conflicts and wars, trade tensions, disruptive innovations in artificial intelligence and other technologies, and of course, transnational challenges, extreme weather, such as what we just experienced in southern Taiwan, pandemics, cyber attacks, and all of these continue to test the capacity of the international system to respond. And at home, we face our own structural tests. Like other industrialized nations, we are addressing the realities of a rapidly aging society, a declining birth rate, and the need for intergenerational equity. We're working to close gaps between different regions of Taiwan, between traditional and emerging technologies. And we're driving dual transformations toward a net zero and digital economy, both of which require public investment, private innovation, and deep social adaptation. These long-term challenges require action now, and in the meantime, our domestic political competition is further sharpened by disinformation and China's active interference, posing strains on the cohesion of our society. So we have a lot of work to do. Navigating all these internal and external challenges to ensure that Taiwan's economy and democracy remain resilient. Now let me walk you through some of our priorities, the progress we've made, and of course the path forward. First of all, let me address our defense. Over the past 2 weeks, you've witnessed the Hanguang 41st exercises, which coincided with the urban resilient drills. You may have noticed that we have undertaken efforts to reform and integrate in our national defense strategy, one rooted in both military modernization and the resilience of our society at large. Our military reforms are focused on building a force that is capable, credible, and responsive to the specific threats that we face. That means investing not only in hardware, but in doctrine, readiness, training, and human capabilities. We have increased our defense budget to historic levels with a focus on asymmetric capabilities, joint operations, force integration, modernizing our reserve forces, extending military conscription, and improved training, investments in our domestic defense industry as well. But modern security threats do not stop at the battlefield. Taiwan is facing a multi-domain challenge that includes cyber attacks, disinformation, supply chain disruption, and economic coercion. And that's why the President's administration, President Lai's administration, is also building a whole of society resilience architecture. We are pursuing this through multiple integrated lines of effort, including civil defense training, critical infrastructure protection, strategic stockpiling, communications resilience, sheltering, financial resilience, cybersecurity, and more. The goal is to foster unity, preparedness, and endurance, not only in the context of deterrence, but also in fortifying our ability to cope with the frequent natural disasters that impose damage upon our society. Next, let me talk about the cross-strait relations, since I know many of you are very keenly interested in this topic. We approach the cross-strait relationship with both principle and responsibility. President Lai has reiterated our government's commitment to upholding peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwanese people are peace-loving and among the friendliest and most generous in the world. We do not seek conflict. We will not provoke confrontation. And as President Lai indicated in his inaugural speech, we have urged the PRC to dialogue with the democratically elected government of Taiwan with parity and respect. For decades, Taiwanese people and businesses have contributed to China's growth and prosperity, which has only been possible under a peaceful and stable environment. Aggressive military posturing is counterproductive and deprives the people on both sides of the Taiwan Strait of opportunities to pursue an agenda of growth and prosperity. Unfortunately, in addition to PLA military maneuvers, we have seen a dramatic uptick in provocative and proactive CCP efforts to infiltrate, sabotage, and divide our society. And that is why President Lai, to protect our democracy and social cohesion, has outlined 17 lines of effort in response to the CCP's deployment of hybrid tools to weaken us and disrupt the status quo. Defending the status quo is our choice, not because it is easy, but because it is responsible and consistent with the interests of our entire region. Next, let me address the economy and our international partnerships. Taiwan's economy is highly interconnected and integrated with the global economy. We are a critical node in global technology supply chains, but we are also dependent on global markets to grow and prosper. So we continue to pursue partnerships with our friends and like-minded societies. With the United States, our negotiators are literally working around the clock to strive to reach an agreement on reciprocal tariffs to achieve trade balance, while also promoting further bilateral cooperation in technology, investments, and other areas. With Europe and like-minded democracies, we've expanded cooperation on trade, green technology, semiconductor supply chains, satellite and space, among other areas. Recent agreements with the UK and Canada also serve as a foundation to promote further trade and cooperation. Across the Indo-Pacific, we continue our new southbound policy to foster investment, academic exchange, and regional integration. With our diplomatic allies, our foreign ministry has initiated the Allies Prosperity Project, aimed at sharing Taiwan's knowledge and services in developing key areas of digital, green, health, and resilient economies. In short, Taiwan is not only just building our economy, we are doing it in a way that is interconnected and also supports the growth and prosperity with our partners together. To remain competitive and sustainable, Taiwan is embracing two critical transitions: artificial intelligence and net zero. In AI, we are investing in data infrastructure, nurturing local talent, and promoting the responsible deployment of advanced technologies. Taiwan is committed to democratic governance in AI, governed by inclusion, transparency, trust, and innovation. In energy, we are modernizing our power grid to ensure greater resilience and reliability as we continue the rollout of renewable energy and new storage solutions. At the same time, we remain open to exploring new clean energy technologies that are being developed around the world in anticipation of growing needs in the coming years. Finally, we believe that economic growth must serve all of Taiwan, not just a few industries or regions. So we are investing in balanced development by balancing resources across the different regions of Taiwan, and also by supporting traditional industries through digital transformation, in addition to the cutting-edge technologies that have been such a focus in the international community. We are also working to expand childcare, elderly care, and affordable housing, education access, so as to ensure, again, growth is balanced and inclusive. We seek to equip our workforce with upskilling programs and youth initiatives, plus a social safety net reform, ensuring that economic transformation uplifts our society together. All of the priorities that I just listed, and I don't want to go further down the laundry list of all of the workload that is stressing us out, but that we are also shouldering and carrying on at full speed. But I just want to say that our priorities, I believe, are also aligned with the values that we share with many of you in this room. Taiwan is not a passive actor. We're not only reactive, we are shaping our future through partnership, innovation, and democratic resolve.